was like Murder Incorporated. If you ever read any book about Lucky Luciano, that's what they was called, Murder Incorporations.
Mhm. Yeah, that's. I always thought it was pretty dope, though. You know what I mean? Because I grew up watching those old gangster movies, so I see the the ties and whatnot. And I know you guys had to change that later on down the line, right? Was that a marketing move, a PR move, or was it just rebranding?
Rebranded because he changed it from Murder Inc. to the Ink, and then it just died out. He just left it alone.
Right. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. Okay, so
So
you
hold on,
discovered. So
I got
you
a question, Stacks.
go ahead. Go ahead, Dirk. Go ahead.
So when it comes to the change of the name from Murder Inc. to the Ink, it was purely behind the scenes, purely for the marketing. The government had nothing to do. I'm talking about the pressure that the government was putting on Irv and the Ink.
No,
About
he started. He changed the name to get this detach himself to the indictment because the indictment was never about him. I mean, it's like he was going around talking about he beat the favorite. They never wanted you. They wanted Supreme for the murder because they said that it was drug money that started the label, which it wasn't. Russell Simmons gave him a check to start Murder Inc. But doing the investigation, they found out something else, and this guy said that this guy paid me to do this, that, the third. So you never had a money laundering charge. So therefore, they just put you in indictment, so they seized your account, so you couldn't help financially with the lawyers for the other co-defendants on the case.
That's deep. That's real deep. Okay, we got a little bit of an echo. Okay, there we go. We got it fixed. Okay, so all right, man. So now let's get into the music portion of this. All right. So Ja Rule was like the flagship artist. Was that always the intention to put him up in front, or he just kind of separated
Yes,
himself from the pack?
he was putting the work in. It's like every camp got somebody that's okay. We need you to hold the torch. Once you get in, you bring everybody else in. Same thing with Saint Lunatics. They ain't want to sign Saint Lunatic. They wanted Nelly.
Mm-hmm.
No, Universal
Mm-hmm.
wanted Nelly. I mean,
Yeah.
they signed Nelly. Okay, now you guys foot in the door, you bring it. So when John got his foot in the door, here comes the other guys on the team. Like, everybody else, Vita, she was there from day one. Cadillac Ty, what I mean? Black Child, you know what I mean? Then later on came Charlie Baltimore. Then, later on down the line, he signed, Lloyd, Bobby Brown.
Somebody took the
Okay,
clothes
that's
out the machine.
I did. I put them on.
Yeah, and then
Um,
well, you need to
yeah,
go downstairs then.
yeah, I'm
that's
here.
pretty dope, man. That's quite the
Yeah,
That's
nobody
quite the
took the
damn
clothes out the
roster
machine. The stuff was on
of
the floor.
talent, man. There was a lot of popularity for a few other labels out there, but I mean, a lot of people remember. A lot of people remember, you know, that you guys stuff was
Huh?
on top. Man, people texting me while
You
I'm doing.
said?
My bad. Sorry about
I
that.
said I'm not shutting on
Sorry
it.
about that. But yeah, so
Well, then you need to
I,
read out.
I, I will. I'm here, y'all still.
okay, for sure. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, there were other labels that were trying to make strides during that time. What do you think set Murder Inc. apart from the other labels that were out there in competition at the time?
No, each each label at that time they had okay, when you had Murder Inc., you had Bad Boy up and running, you had Death Row, Rapping
Mm-hmm.
Lots.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, labels was doing their thing. Everybody was had their cans. Everybody was eating. Puffy was eating for Bad Boy. Man, Herb dropped. Ja took off. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So everybody had their time to shine. Everybody was eating.
Right, right. That song, I think Ja Rule's like, I think like his breakout song, I would say is Holla, right?
Holla, 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 holla.
Yeah. Did you have any hand in the making of that song, or was that all Ja?
Of course, all the songs that came out of Murder Inc., I had my hands involved with. Because
Okay.
see, in being the president, you had to make sure like it's a deadline. This album gonna be done in 90 days. You gotta make sure the producer is doing it. The street team is doing this. You gotta make sure the A&R is doing this. So the marketing companies, the marketing team is doing this. So I had to step up and be the boss.
Right. No, no, I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. So, I mean, to be the boss, right? To be the president, you probably had to make some tough decisions. What were some of those decisions that you felt that you had to make that other people might not have had the nerve to do, like the chances or the heavy swings that you had to take to get the home run?
it was a few. You know what I mean? But let me see. Okay, the Charlie Baltimore. I mean, when she
Mm-hmm.
came to the label, Vita was there first. But
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Baltimore knew how to rap, so it was a decision
Right.
made that they're gonna push Charlie Baltimore album first. And Vita was mad, like, hold up, I've been here from day one. How you gonna bypass me and put her album out? And that was a
Right.
decision that needed to be done
Right. Right. No,
because
that's a tough
Charlie
decision for both
Baltimore
of them.
she was spitting on Rain on Me remix.
Mm-hmm. Right. I know. I'm kind of wondering though, why didn't Charlie Baltimore, like, we're gonna talk about pretty much all the artists in this sense, where it's like, why did it feel like nobody else kind of got out from underneath Ja Rule shadow? You know what I mean? You had a few singles here and there, but nobody really
It's always like
had
that.
the
Like who
power.
like it's like a lot of them get lazy. They want to ride the wave, and you gotta make your own name for yourself. Like who shadowed on the Flipmore, on the Buster Rhymes, who shadowed at the St. Lunatics. You know what I mean? Like Titty
Hmm.
Boy. In order for him to shadow, he had to leave Ludacris alone. You know, he said that every time he dropped an album, Ludacris dropped an
Kind
album,
of in
so
the
he
matrix
left
a
the
little bit.
label, the piece, changed the name to Two Chain.
Uh-oh. Okay,
You
you
breaking up, Cal? You breaking
you
up.
breaking up, Cal.
So,
You breaking up. Nah, you
so
breaking up still, Cal.
Cal, you yeah.
other rappers.
You breaking up. You breaking up. You
Cal, it
underwater.
might be where you standing at, Cal. It might be where you standing at.
You underwater right now.
Yeah.
Hey, but when he come back in, I got a couple of questions for him.
Yeah. Yeah, go
Hey,
for it,
hey,
bro.
Cal, say something. Say something again. You was getting better.
Hello,
All right, it's getting better. All
huh?
right. Hey, so Cal, not to rewind
Can you
you,
hear me?
because I know y'all
Yeah, we
went
can hear
kind
you,
of
boss.
deep in
Can
it.
you hear me? You can hear me better?
Yeah, I hear you. Not to rewind you too far back. You know what I'm saying? When you
Can
was
you hear me now? Hear me better?
yeah, I can hear you. When you was a kid,
Can you hear
what
me better
school?
now?
Yeah, I can hear you better.
He probably
What's
can't hear us. Hold on, Jay. Can
Can
he
you
hear
hear
us?
me?
You hear me better now?
Yeah, he can't hear
Yeah,
us,
I can hear
Jay.
you better. I can hear
Can you
you
hear
better.
me?
I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
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 we
I can
can
hear
hear you
you. Can
now,
you hear
Cal.
us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a reset real quick. Reset. The golden ticket Cal Dawson, former Murder Inc. president, speaks about Ja Rule, 50 Cent, Ashanti, Black Rob, and more. He is in the building. Follow the mods. You feel me? 5 stacks is the interviewer. Charge 10 to get on stage for your own PTR and record the content. So Cal, not to rewind you, I just wanted to know, you know what I'm saying? I've been following you, you know what I'm saying? You my personal guy. What schools did you attend to when you was a teen?
I went to PS 140, elementary school, junior high school 72. I went to Queensboro Vocational High School. I went to Andrew Jackson High School.
Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm from Cali. Our streets is tough, but I lived out in New York, and it was the same type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? The streets was active. So, how did you survive that as a teen growing up in the streets?
I mean, like everybody else. I mean, like all hoods the same. You know what I mean? Whether you're in East Coast, West Coast, hood is a hood. But like you win some fights, you win some, lose some. You know what I mean? Good times, bad times. You go with the flow. You know what I mean? Everybody's like built. Everybody talk this gangster shit, right? But everybody's not a gangster in this world. We can't. Everybody in this world can't be a gangster. Everybody in this world can't be a millionaire. If everybody in this world was a millionaire, we no such thing of poverty. So everybody was a gangster in this world. It'd be chaos going on everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And my last question before I give it back over to Stacks, what even sparked your interest? Because I researched you, and you did it. You was in the streets. You followed your dad, Cornbread. He's a known New York hustler, and you was getting money out there. You did your first Fed bid in North
Nah, I
Carolina.
did. I did 4 bids. I did three state bids and one federal bid. My last bid was a Fed beef, but my first bid was in North Carolina. I was convicted of trafficking. I was sentenced to 10 years, but that was a state. But reason why I got out the street game because as you get older, the numbers go up because the felonies adds up, and then now like the dynamics right change because the odds is more against you to lose than to win because you got a lot of people now who get busted, they give you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm feeling you. Go ahead, five stacks. It's
You know what I
all
mean? So
you.
it's like, you know what I mean? Like you catch a felony at 18, you catch another one at 22, you catch another one, so they could hit you as a career criminal. So it's like, what you want to be, life in prison, you know what I mean? Known to be like, oh, I was getting it, but you didn't jump the rest of your life. Does it make sense? No.
Right. Well, now, okay, so we addressed we addressed the light work. Now it's time to get a little heavier, right? So talk to me about your experiences with 50 Cent, right? And okay, now we all know about the famous beef between Ja Rule and 50 Cent and how deep that shit went. And us on the West Coast, we was all sitting back just tripping out, listening to the records and just seeing all of the shots being slung back and forth. How did all that shit begin? Like how did that start, that beef?
Man, it was politics. Like, the guy Supreme was trying to like, control 50, and 50 was like, nah, I do me type of thing. And Ja was no street dude. 50 was a real street dude. So Ja, because he had certain forces behind him, he was sticking his chest out. 50 was like, yo, knock it off. You're not built like that. You're not for real for about this life. So that's how that bickering started with them two.
That's well, I mean, see, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I mean, it was mostly politics, right? So how did Ja get pulled into it to the point where these two dudes they came to blows a few times, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah, a little blow like some dude from Murder Inc. Ran for 50 in the studio, but he had a few blows. But it wasn't like no real shit. Like they got all lumped up and shit like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't really nothing. Somebody's, I think, staff 50 with a little butter knife, some bullshit. But it was like how Ja got into it because somebody was putting a battery in Ja back, so Ja started going after him. So at the time, 50 started getting demand. His mixtapes, he was buzzing. Like, this dude came out of nowhere with just how to rob. Talk about robbing people in the industry. That raised his buzz. You know what I mean? So the tape was on him. So what Josh should have did was not get involved with that beef, the politics, continue to make your records, leave that shit alone. But when you going back and forth with somebody, look what happened. You end up losing because 50, dismangled the whole record label by himself. He tried to do that with Rick Ross, but it didn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Why do you think? What do you think the difference was? Why do you think he wasn't able to affect Rick Ross's establishment as well as he did with Ja Rules?
Because Rick Ross was a smarter dude. He knew how to play chess. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
like he had enough money and power behind him where he was accepted until like when 50 said blew it up, like, yo, you a corrections officer, you was no drug dealer, da 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 da. So that came out the bag. But people still accepted Rick Ross. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. No, I get that, man. I get that.
And Rick
That's
Ross had
heavy,
more
man.
commercial music. Like, I mean, like 50 wasn't able to shut him down. He did Ja.
Right. Damn, man. I mean, I guess you never can. People can. 50's usually a pretty good prognosticator when it comes to the business. I guess maybe that was just a miscalculation on his part to
Cause
think that
when
it would
50
work this
came in the
time
game,
around.
controversy itself, he came in the game, he was beefing with everybody. He was beefing with Ja Rule, he had beef with Jada Kids, he had beef with Nas, Fat Joe. Anybody was down with Ja Rule, he was going after them. So, like, it's a chess move. You know what I mean? But my thing is like, a lot of us need to come together, then it's divide and conquer. 'Cause right now, it's a whole lot of rappers getting killed over bullshit. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
Mo 3, King Vaughn, Young Dolph. You know what I mean? A lot of these rappers, more rappers getting killed now than like the last two, within the 2 years, 200 rappers got killed.
Mm. that's pretty deep.
No, and one of the
You
guys I
know,
was managing, Black Rob, he passed away. He didn't
yeah, I
get
wanted
murdered
to
though,
get
but
into that.
he
Yeah,
died to dialysis though. He had health issues.
were you guys? Well, I mean, were you guys really close? You and Black Rob?
Nah, but I knew him as an artist, but I didn't start working with Black Rob till August of 2020. I mean, he from Harlem,
Mm,
from Queens, but I know of him as an artist because hip hop. You know what I mean? But I didn't get to personally start dealing with him until I started working with him, managing him. And then Rob was a cool dude. Just that I wasn't around with him growing up, and he signed a Bad Boy, all that shit. I was at the tail end of
right,
his career. But the times I experienced with him, he's a cool dude. Just that he got fucked over. You know what I mean? If you get a chance, go on Tubi, watch the Last Days of Black Rob documentary.
right. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I got a chance to check that out. I saw your IMDb page. Very definitely a very very interesting watch. I recommend anybody to check that out. Now you had some choice words for Puff Daddy, right? To P Diddy.
No, I never had no beef
About
with Puff. I never had no beef with
well, I
Puff.
know.
My whole
I mean,
thing
some
was
choice words about him coming forward. Coming forward at the wrong time about
I
helping out with
just
the
I just
medical
my
bills,
whole
right?
thing now. Styles P, the rapper from the Locks, when I was
Hmm.
going through shit with Black Raw, he reached out and he said that on the Bad Boy reunion tour, then Puffy found out Black Raw was on dialysis. He kicked him off the tour. And then Styles P was like, "Yo, Black Raw not performing. I'm not performing." Then Boots fell in line. Then Jada Kid, then Little Kim. So Puff had no choice but to put Black Rob back on the tour. And he kicked him off the tour because he didn't want to pay for dialysis. So my thing is, we all grown men, so we ain't supposed to take care of another grown ass man. We all grown. So I don't know, like the business deal or the contract Rob signed. My issue was that this man is financially broke. He has no house to live in. You made millions of dollars off his catalog. Now, Punk could be like, but if he wasn't able to maintain his money, what's it got to do with me? You know what I mean? I signed him as an artist. I kicked him. His contract was over 2010, and that was it. You know what I mean? But you sitting on multi millions of dollars. You made millions off of his, catalogs. So he could have did more, but I guess he chose not to. You know what I mean? And everybody thinking that he's a type of scholar, type of dude. You're praising him at the BET Awards and all this shit, but how you're praising him? Cause this man was literally dying. It was his artist. Look at Craig Mack. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. I mean, yo, sometimes what I'm saying some niggas don't know how to make the right moves when it comes to certain people because they focused on the wrong shit. I can't speak for the man, but I mean, it's good to see that you at least had, what I mean, your man's best interest at heart. Jason, you wanted to add something, bro?
Yeah, man. So, the thing about it, Kyle, how did you even hook up with Herb Gotti? You know what I'm saying? How did y'all even connect for you and even work with
This
him?
dude named
Cause
BJ from my neighborhood, right? He was down with Supreme. BJ knew Irv. Irv was from Hollis. He brought Irv from Hollis over to the Southside Queens. Irv was a well-known DJ in the neighborhood, and plus, like I said, he worked at Def Jam's and A&R before he started Murder Inc. So that's how he's from Queens. Like my man Bimmy was an A&R there as well. Rockefeller's uncle. He came home. Russell gave him a job as an A&R. So that's how I met Irv.
okay, for sure, for sure. But hey, not to get too juicy and too gossipy, what
Right.
happened when Black Tie had stabbed some of the dudes from G Unit up in the
Yeah,
studio?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was you know, man, you're in the studio, right? They heard 50 was over there, right? They went to the studio, and dudes wanted to get at him. I mean, and a fight broke out. Right, it popped off in there. Nothing drastically happened to 50. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
when that fight happened, I think Benzino was there, and he gave him his SUV. Told the SUV driver, "Yo, take him where he needs to go, then come back." You know what I mean?
Right.
But like I said, that shit there was like, you know, typical bullshit neighborhood shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like they ain't smash him out, none of that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Little fight broke out, and the
So, but
dudes who was the producers, they called the cops. You know what I'm saying? People try to say 50 called the cops. He never called the cops. The producers, the dude who booked the studio session, they the one called the cops.
oh, a word.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Because I think it was on Beef. You know what I'm saying? It was real hyped up. I think that was Beef One or Beef Two.
Yeah, I think it was beef
Um,
too.
Nah, he never
I
called the
think.
cops. The dudes who booked the session, when the fight broke out, you know what I mean? You ran there, you got $1 million equipment in that studio. So them guys like, hold up, we ain't with this bullshit. They called authorities. But 50 never pressed no charge, nobody, shit like that. People be like, what's crazy? Like nowadays,